Hey, Tarot Adventures with Jules, back for day 3 of 31 Days of Tarot by Ethany. Today's prompt is, what are your top oracle decks of 2021? I'm very excited to talk about these decks because I love them so much. The first one on my list is by Carrie at Bouchette Design Shop, and it's the Radiant Crystal cards. This deck is incredible. I feel so grateful to have received an advanced copy of this for review. I absolutely love everything about it. Carrie's artwork is incredible. It is absolutely stunning. And I love that each of the cards has the crystal on one side, and then on the opposite side, you have the chakra that it's associated with, the astrological sign, affirmation, energies, and a plant correspondence. I mean, I can't get enough of this deck. The illustrations are just stunning. And I've used it a lot over the past year since I received it. I would highly recommend all of Carrie's decks. She did the Meraki Tarot. She also has a stunning numerology deck and zodiac deck. They're little mini square decks on her Etsy page, and they are lovely. The second deck I wanted to talk about is very near and dear to my heart because it was gifted to me by some dear friends. It's the Roots and Wings Oracle. By Kat Ryal, I think her last name is. The illustrations, again, in this deck are so stunning. They resonate so deeply with me. It's one that I'm actually using as one of my Capricorn season decks, and I'm really enjoying it. The keywords are lovely. There's a little guidebook that comes with it, and also the card backs are incredible. I can't recommend it highly enough. The next oracle deck on my list is a Prairie Majesty Oracle by Kara Simons and Amy Putney Koenig. This deck, ever since I saw the first few illustrations, it's so stunning. I grew up in Alberta. I'm definitely much more of a ocean and water girl than I am a prairie girl, although I have come to appreciate the prairies much more now that I'm not living on them. I love this deck. It's absolutely stunning. The artwork is magical and pulls you right in. I love the keywords and all of the key phrases that come with the cards. This one is Soothe, and it asks, am I receiving peace? The guidebook that comes with this deck is incredible. So much thought and care has gone into the writing. It's truly incredible. This deck is due to be released in March, I believe, by Hay House, a mass market edition, which is super exciting. This is the indie deck that was released on Kickstarter. The next deck that I want to talk about is the Calm the Chaos cards by it's Nicola Reese Taggart. They are incredible. I really love this deck. It's super simple and lovely, and it focuses on hope and optimism without veering into the realm of toxic positivity, which is definitely a huge trigger for me. For example, this card asks me to put down your busy badge of honor. That is a message that I need to hear pretty much daily. Another one is your most important relationship is with yourself. And this one in particular, these have just happened to be the top 3 cards on the deck. Let the weight of the decision guide you. As someone who has major people-pleasing tendencies and a really big difficulty making decisions sometimes, especially if I feel like I might be letting someone down, the guidance in these cards is amazing and much needed. The next deck that I want to talk about is the first deck that I ever backed on Kickstarter by the fabulous Chris Ann. It's the Sacred Creators Oracle. This is the original indie edition. There have been several other editions since, including a mass market one that is absolutely lovely. Please excuse my son in the background. He's getting very excited about lunch. The guidance for these cards is so lovely. The illustrations are incredibly soothing, and the guidebook that comes with this deck is really lovely. I also love that the first 22 cards of the deck correspond with loosely with the major arcana in tarot. It's really lovely. The next deck that I want to talk about is Nature Portals by Jamie Sawyer, with some insight from her mom, Gail. I love that these cards are round. The illustrations, I mean, Jamie's artwork is absolutely stunning. I love working with this deck. It's really incredible. And the insights that come with each, rotate, okay, yeah, each of the cards is really, really lovely. It's very soothing. As someone who likes to spend a lot of time outside, I find I really connect to this deck, especially in the spring when everything is budding and coming out. I also wanted to mention the book. I believe this is still available to order along with the deck, order separately. It's really lovely because there are all of these little facts and some writing about each of the cards, and then a journaling prompt. And all of the illustrations come without any color. So I had so much fun going through and working with each of the individual cards over the course of the duration of, I can't remember how many cards are in this deck, there's quite a few, going through and doing the reflections every day and getting my pencil crayons out and coloring. It sparked so much joy for my inner child, and it was absolutely lovely. So I definitely can't recommend this deck highly enough. The next one is out of print, Postcards from the Liminal Space. It's by Everyday Magic, Bakara Whitner, and a couple of amazing illustrators. This one, as I said, is out of print, but there is a new edition that has come out that is a little bit different, but same aesthetic, and it's really, really lovely. I find the insights for this are straight up, no holds barred, but often much needed, and I really love everything about this deck. It's really, really lovely. Bakara Whitner also has the Way Home Tarot, which I absolutely adore, along with Autumn Whitehurst. The illustrations are lovely, and there's a book that comes with it, WTF is Tarot and How Do I Do It? Or something along those lines. Is a great resource as well. The last three decks that I want to talk about are astrology decks, and I love them so much. The first one is the Arcana of Astrology by Claire Goodchild from Black and the Moon. This deck is incredible. All of the illustrations are stunning, and can I just take a moment to talk about how fabulous the back of the cards is? It's absolutely wonderful. And another thing I love about this deck is the book that comes with it. It's a mass market edition. The book that comes with it has amazing insights, goes into each of the cards in great depth, and is absolutely fabulous. I really love it a lot. So if you're someone that is interested in dabbling in astrology, whether you're a newbie or a seasoned astrologer, this deck is a fabulous resource. The next book that I want to, or deck, not book, that I want to talk about is the Astro Soul Oracle deck by Maria from Studio Artemy. These cards are just incredible. Maria has put so much time into exploring each of the different cards and astrological placements, different signs rather, not cards, and planets. It's a great resource for someone who is a seasoned astrologer or, again, new to astrology. The book that comes with it is, again, very extensive and really helpful, and I love working with this deck so much. The cardstock is incredible. It's super luxe, and just the finish is everything about it is top notch. Maria has also come up with ethereal orbs and the Fortuna Tarot, which comes in an emerald anima and an amethyst tone as well. It's really a beautiful resource for tarot as well. The last but not least deck that I want to talk about is another astrology deck. It's the Living Wheel astrology cards. This deck is really lovely. The illustrations are fabulous. I just love it so much. North and South Node, all the planets are so beautifully illustrated. Astrological signs, you've got all of the house placements, and one of the things that I really appreciate about this deck is it goes through the wheel of the year by season. So you have all these beautiful illustrations that reflect the different phases of the chart and the year, and it's just a really beautiful way to capture the energy of fall and some of the transitional seasons from fall into winter. I mean, it's beautiful. I love this deck so much. So that is the roundup. Again, I was hard pressed. I have less oracle decks than I do tarot decks, but again, picking a top 10 felt like I was being disrespectful to the other decks because I love them as well. But anyway, this is my top roundup. And I would love to know, what are your top oracle decks and what is it that you love about them?